Hello everyone. Are you a US person looking to apply for ITIN for your spouse? The spouse could be a non-resident living outside the US. So today, Akhil Bansal, I'm a CPA. I will try to explain you what goes into applying for an ITIN for a non-resident spouse. I'm going to take some examples from a couple of our clients. A US person, a US resident whose spouses have been in India, right? And they've been wanting to apply for their spouse's ITIN, and we've helped a lot of those cases. And today I'll give you a little bit brief about what goes in it. So before that, right, let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Akhil Bansal. I'm a certified public accountant licensed in the US. We're running a 100% remote firm. It's called USA Tax Gurus. You can find us on our website, which is in front of you right now, usataxgurus.com. These are our phone numbers if you want to reach out to us, or you can also find us on the IRS website. It's acceptance. If you just Google acceptance agents in India, right, and scroll down, you'll find us, USA Tax Gurus LLC, right? Before we dive into this, you all must have heard about the W-7 form. Right, let me quickly show you like the documents that you will need to complete in order to apply for ITIN for your spouse. Right, so we'll take US person and then there's a non-resident spouse. So to apply for an ITIN, you will need this W-7 that you need to file for your spouse. As you can see here, if you're submitting the W-7 and if you check the boxes B, C, D, E, F, or G, right, basically any of these boxes, you basically need to file a US federal income tax return, right? So if in your case, right, this option E would apply, right, a non-resident spouse of a US citizen / resident alien, right? So we'll complete the documentation with the reason spouse of a US citizen / resident alien, and then we also do mention enter the name of the US person's social security number and name. We have to enter that, right? So that goes here. So that's basically the main form that you have to complete, and as this suggests, right, you have to file a US federal income tax return, right? So that is this form 1040. If you're a US person, you've probably filed this form tons of times, like every single year before April 15th, right? So same thing here, right? Now that you're married, you only have two options. Either you're going to file married filing joint or married filing separate, right? So if you're doing married filing separate, there's you can just enter your spouse's name here, and that's pretty much it, and you don't send the W-7 form along with it. But if you are applying for ITIN, you have to select married filing joint, and at the same time, you will have to complete this entire tax return, indicate here that you're attaching a W-7 and applying for ITIN with this tax return. This tax return cannot be e-filed. It needs to be paper filed. It needs to be manually processed by the IRS. So basically you'll complete your 1040, you'll complete the W-7, and then also any international tax forms that applies. Now that you have an international spouse, a non-resident spouse, right, there may be a chance that she has bank accounts in India, bank accounts in foreign countries. There's a chance that she might have $10,000 in those bank accounts, right? So then you will have to complete those F-bars. If she has foreign income, if he or she has foreign bank accounts getting interest, dividends, ownership in foreign companies, right? So a lot of those things will need to be reported on your 1040, right? So if you are filing an ITIN for your spouse, just be mindful that everything, all the sources of her income will need to be included on this 1040 tax return along with the W-7. We've helped tons of cases like these where one person was, a US person and the other person was the spouse or even a dependent, right? The process remains the same. You still complete the 1040 W-7 and then manually process the return. It takes about, a week for us to complete the entire process, and then it takes about 6 to 8 weeks for the IRS to process an ITIN application. Like I said, it needs to be manually processed. So once the IRS receives your documents, it takes them about 6 to 8 weeks to process this. In terms of certifying the documents, you must have already heard that, along with the W-7 and the 1040, you have to send your original passports. With us, it's going to be completely different. Like I said, we are certified acceptance agents, so we can do that verification for you. We have the same power as the IRS to certify these documents, and then just send out those tax returns and the certified documents, which means that you don't need to mail your passport to the US. If you're living in India or if you're living in any other country, if you get this through us, you don't have to mail the original passport all the way to the US, right? Again, it's not safe. It can take 6 to 8 months for the IRS to return that. So I would not recommend mailing out the original passport, right? Get it certified through one of the certified acceptance agents. We're one of them, and we'll be more than happy to help. Again, feel free to reach out, and we'll be more than happy to help you apply for ITIN for your spouse. Thank you.